Well, America has turned against Donald Trump. America has turned against Donald Trump again in Virginia tonight. Voters in Virginia turned against Donald Trump tonight. Tucker Carlson has now turned against Donald Trump. A new poll shows that 2/3 of Americans disapprove of Donald Trump. Donald Trump's lies aren't working anymore. Nothing Donald Trump says is working anymore. Donald Trump began his day by saying, I don't want to do that. And then he did that because he is Donald Trump, because he is the only president of the United States in history who thinks his words mean absolutely nothing. Donald Trump once again today proved that his words mean absolutely nothing when he ended his workday doing exactly what he said he didn't want to do this morning. At 8:30 a.m., in a phone call to the morning crew at CNBC, Joe Kernan asked if Donald Trump's deadline for attacking Iran again, beginning tonight, was a real deadline, unlike almost every other Trump deadline.
If it looks like things are progressing, will you not necessarily extend it to a definitive amount of time, but will you let it keep going if there's progress in the talks before taking...
Well, I don't want to do that.
And then, as expected by everyone in the world, including Iran's dictatorial regime, Donald Trump's deadline evaporated. At 4:09 p.m., in a social media post saying that he decided to extend the ceasefire. And now there is no deadline. Of course, this is Donald Trump's war and Donald Trump's so-called negotiating style, so surely he will issue more threats of war crimes and more deadlines that will surely once again be ignored by everyone, including Donald Trump. No one violates Trump-issued deadlines more than Donald Trump. No one ignores those deadlines more than Donald Trump. Imagine what Donald Trump would be saying tonight. Imagine what the news media generally would be saying tonight. If President Obama or President Biden kept issuing deadlines to Iran and then kept caving on those deadlines. Imagine what the Fox propaganda channel would be saying tonight. It's not working. Donald Trump's lies are not working. And the Trump-supporting lies of the Fox propaganda channel are not working. And no one personifies the collapse of the Trump-Fox propaganda machine better than former Fox anchorman Tucker Carlson, who once had the highest-rated show on that network and has now turned against Donald Trump because of the Trump war in Iran. Tucker Carlson, who went from publicly supporting Donald Trump on television while privately hating him, to then publicly supporting him again, now says we are implicated, meaning him and all Trump voters.
We're implicated in this for sure.
Yes.
It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or like, oh, this is bad, I'm out. It's like in very small ways, but in real ways, you and me and millions of people like us are the reason this is happening right now.
Yes.
So I do think it's like a moment to wrestle with our own consciences. We'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be.
And so people who have been against Donald Trump every day of his political career are going to have to get used to this. We're going to have to get used to Tucker Carlson's publicly, suddenly realizing the obvious about Donald Trump, that he never should have been president. First Marjorie Taylor Greene, now Tucker Carlson, and there will be more. And they will include people like Tucker Carlson who have said horribly racist things that they will never retract, that should not be forgotten or forgiven. But what is true about Tucker Carlson's switch of public allegiance, and what is important about Tucker Carlson's switch of public allegiance away from Donald Trump, is that it is very, very bad for Donald Trump. And it represents millions and millions of Trump supporters turning against Donald Trump in polling now, in polls that show the job approval of Donald Trump is now a 67% disapprove. 2/3 of Americans disapprove of Donald Trump as president. And Donald Trump's war in Iran has 67% disapproval. Donald Trump's handling of economic issues, 70% disapprove. And Donald Trump's management of the cost of living, 76% disapprove. And that includes tens of millions of Trump voters who are now turning on Donald Trump. They are finding their issue to turn against Donald Trump, whether it be the cost of living or the Iran war. And so America is turning against Donald Trump tonight. Donald Trump finds new ways every day to sink lower and lower in the polls. Like this morning on CNBC when he said because his war in Iran has turned out to be more difficult for the region than he expected, he actually wants to take money from the American people, 76% of whom are struggling with the cost of living, and give that American money to the richest people, not in America, but the richest people in the world who are not Americans. Donald Trump wants to give money to the dictatorship running the United Arab Emirates.
The UAE asking the U.S. for some type of financial lifeline. I don't know if it's a solvency problem. It's more of a liquidity problem. And I know we did, Secretary Bessent did something with Argentina that worked out. Is there some type of swap possible, currency swap with the UAE to help if they need it? And do you think there would be backlash because it's such a or perceived to be such a wealthy country? Is that under consideration?
It is, but it's been a good country. It's been a good ally of ours, and they're really led by incredible people. And, yeah, I mean, I'm surprised because they are really rich. So, yeah, if I could help them, I would.
Yes, he wants to give them money. He wants to give the United Arab Emirates money, and he's surprised that he has to do that because they're really rich. That's what he's saying. That's what he's telling the world this morning. Islam, a religion Donald Trump mocks in tweets threatening Iran, is the official religion of the United Arab Emirates, which does not believe in separation of church and state, to put it mildly. It is a country of staggering wealth. And Donald Trump now wants American taxpayers to help out that dictatorship because Iran took a few shots at them with drones during Donald Trump's war. Here's a Trump voter today in Orlando, Florida, who is not getting any of the help that Donald Trump wants to give to the richest people in the world in the United Arab Emirates.
What would you grade the economy right now?
Definitely a D. Is there an F up there? Yeah, F. That's it, though.
Why?
It's bad. Like, gas prices are like the highest they've ever been. Rent is the highest. The buying a house is the highest it's ever been. Everything's higher than normal. Like, and then minimum wage hasn't really budged much as the prices gone up. So that is a bad economy.
Tucker Carlson was a Trump voter. He was a vocal Trump supporter on the Fox channel while he privately hated Donald Trump, as we learned in a lawsuit against Fox for lying about the Dominion voting systems for Donald Trump, a lawsuit Fox lost to the tune of nearly $1 billion. Text messages emerged in that lawsuit with Tucker Carlson saying, "We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait. I hate him passionately." Tucker Carlson later became a public Trump supporter once again and campaigned with Donald Trump, supporting him for president very happily. And so we have no idea how long Tucker Carlson's current feud with Donald Trump will continue. But the Trump voters who are now turning against Donald Trump won't be as easy for Donald Trump and Republicans to win back as Tucker Carlson might turn out to be.